Hello and welcome to Coffee with Keerthi. Today we have an amazing duo that is doing something amazing for the kids age group 0 to 6. The company is called Brainyells. We have the founders. This is a husband-wife duo. Their names are Pratik Potnis and Tejasa Potnis. Guys, welcome to Coffee with Keerthi. How are you guys doing today?
Doing fantastic. Thank you so much for inviting us today, Keerthi. It's pleasure and it's a privilege to be on your show.
Thank you, Pratik, and I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. And I want to start off with a basic question, and I would let the lady start off answering this. And of course, you guys can, tell me, how all of this started. I want to understand Brainyells actually, is a very interesting name also, because you guys are a startup, a edtech startup, which is focused on, tell me if I'm wrong, it's focused on cognitive neuroscience and right brain education for kids. It's a difficult term to understand, but I'm sure you guys are going to simplify this. So tell me the journey. When you guys started this thing, what is the story behind Brainyells and all of that?
Sure. So, Keerthi, many of us do not know that, initial first 5 years are very important in human life. So this is the period where 90% of brain develops. And that is where the name brain cells comes in. Right? Okay. So in these first 5 years, whatever children are learning, they actually build majority of their life skills in these years. So, that is how, brain cells has been developed in a way that we give a lot of cognitive neuroscience based activities, but these are all fun learning activities for children to do. It is a platform. So BrainCells is an online learning platform where we give a lot of activities to parents and children to perform on each and every day. So how did we start? We had a preschool setup in Pune. So we had a couple of branches with name of Thought River Preschools. We were operational since 2012. And we were doing amazing job. I was always curious to know, how more and what more I can do for these little ones. So I was more curious to learn more about the developmental aspects of children. Right. So I did a lot of courses. I've done my, course in from Harvard University as well for early childhood education.
Oh, wow.
This is, this is the program which I was conducting within our preschools as extracurricular activity classes.
Okay.
Yeah, so that is how parents started loving it. Parents, even children started loving it. Parents saw the difference that this program had on children. For example, increasing their attention span, having cognitive skills developed in these first 5 years, right? So, when the pandemic hit, fortunately or unfortunately, we had to take a call in 2020. We had to shut down our preschool, right? Okay. So a lot of parents actually encouraged us that, that is absolutely fine if you don't want to continue with the preschool, but you can at least take these, classes online. So that is when, Pratik and I thought, a lot over it from 2020 to 2021, how we can make it available, not just, online where children are sitting again for, hours time to do activities. Pratik developed this technology where everything is available for parents to explore and do a lot of activities. So that is how we have made this possible in 2021.
Okay. That's right. So May 2021 is when we launched our product, and it was an amazing response from the parents, not just from Pune. So with the preschool, we just had parents and children in just Pune, but all across the globe. Parents joined in our first batch itself. Oh, wow. Right? Yeah, so we just sent out a flyer on Facebook and Instagram, and there were amazing response that we received from the parents. And first batch itself was of 100 parents, right?
Oh, wow.
And yes, and May 2021 is when we launched it, and since then now we have grown to 12,000 plus subscribers, and these are all,
Wow.
they have taken the program, paid subscription of the program, and they are having a lot of fun. All the parents are having a lot of fun along with their children in performing the activities that come packaged within this program. And the program is simplified for the parents, right? They just get one exercise per day.
Okay.
Under that exercise, there are like 10 to 12 activities, and it takes only 5 to maximum 10 minutes of their daily time.
Oh,
Right?
wow. That's
So the
interesting.
parents who have, and parents who have, concerns are about the screen time and everything, so that is completely taken out.
Mhm.
And children also build life skills instead of wasting
Correct.
tremendous amount of time on useless, YouTube videos and the content. They really build the life skills over here.
Correct. So you guys are a great example of, awesome entrepreneurs. Why? Because, you guys didn't stop because COVID hit you. There are a lot of people that I know that because COVID hit them, it was an excuse for a lot of people, things are not going well. But you guys actually took a very important decision in your journey, but it was more of a pivot, right? You're still catering to the same customer segment, which is parents, and the age group is 0 to 6 year old kids, right? So tell me about this, because for me understanding, you say 0 to 6, which means less than 1 year old. I don't know how that works. I am really intrigued by activities that an infant age of 6 months or 7 months, how that infant is going to respond to the brain cell activities that you guys have designed. So tell me about that. How is that program designed for all age groups from 0 to 6?
Okay. Yeah. So this is, this is a really good question. So, I would like to tell you that, activities are also structured age-wise.
Mhm.
So for 0 to 1, definitely children will not do activities all by themselves.
Correct.
So this program is for parents. So they come on the platform, they see if my child is 6 months old, what are the developmental milestones, normal milestones that my child should achieve when the child reaches 6 months, right? And for that, what are the activities that I can do which will help enhance their skills? Yeah. So these could be their physical developmental aspects, it could be their sensory developmental aspects. So there are some simple activities which we ask parents to do, right? For example, if the baby is very small, 3 months old, a lot of times we have we observe that babies are small, 3 months old, but parents do not understand what I really need to do with the baby, right? So one activity is a sensory activity where we tell parent to talk. So whenever you have a free time with your baby is awake in a playful mood, you can introduce different textures to the baby. You can make baby feel the textures, right?
Okay.
So that this becomes a sensory activity, child understands and learns something new. So this is a very simple activity that a parent has to do, but this becomes a learning activity for the baby. And when it becomes a learning activity, the senses are stimulated in such a way that it becomes a kind of a brain development activity. So whenever the textures are felt by the baby, it gets stored as a memory in their brain. So that is how they learn.
That's interesting.
So there are a lot of activities, simple activities we give to the parents to perform.
Correct, that's it. So, it works basically, for the age group of 0 to 1, it's mostly sensory development, because even for us, and especially for the babies, the world is perceived through the 5 senses that we have, right?
Correct.
Taste, smell, touch, right? All these 5 senses that we have, the world is perceived through that. And cognitive neuroscience tells that a brain connection is formed when something hits on that sense. So how do you get to know something is hot? Unless you touch it, you won't know, right? If somebody, let's assume it, a hypothetical situation, that somebody has never touched something hot, you would not understand what is hot, right?
Yes.
So the how, so that's what Tejasa told that, the memory gets formed, or rather, a connection gets formed as part of, in the brain of whatever touch, feel, sense activity, that even for the taste, even for the smell, all those activities, how do we, enhance those senses, and enhance the connections that happen in this age of 0 to 1 is really important. More than learning, it's, experiential activities for the children becomes a great time for child and parent bonding as well, because parent is spending a really good time in doing something great about the child, spending those 5, 10, 15 minutes with the child. So overall it creates an environment wherein parents do want to do a lot of things for their children, but they don't have a lot of tools, and we provide an amazing tool which comes from cognitive neuroscience in the hands of the parents. And that's about 0 to 1. You want to add for 1 to 2 and 2 to 4 how it goes?
Yeah, again, for 1 to 2, 2 to 4, and 4 plus, there are different activities that children do. So these are mainly developmental based activities where the baby, if a baby reaches 1 year old, then the baby starts walking. So what are the physical activities we can do? What are the learning activities, like introducing language, mathematics, and all the other activities? So those are also introduced stepwise.
Okay. Awesome. No, this is awesome. I don't know, I don't know about our, how we were brought up is a very, different, that was a different environment, right? All when we were all growing up, the environment was very different. We didn't have a lot of exposure. Like today, like you mentioned, kids have access to all kinds of information. In fact, we have to put a child lock on everything that we have today, right? Everywhere we have to put proper limitations, otherwise you don't know, because like you said, it's a growing child. The brain is absorbing every possible thing. So I would like to know, if you can share some stories that parents have told you of, the kind of experience they've had. Any 1 or 2 stories that you would like to share with our audience?
Absolutely. So, I recently, we have a closed community. So it is not just, we give out the, activities for parents to do. They always come back to us. We have a, closed community where we interact with parents as well. So recently, one parent shared her experience that, earlier she faced that her child had a less attention span. And also, he wasn't, listening a lot. But she started with this program, and now she says that my child loves listening. So now, I want more suggestions on, what are the things I can read out to my baby. So, this is one experience. The other thing is we introduce a lot of, concepts to babies as well, learning concepts. So there is a child who's been doing this program for almost a year now. So his name is Amar, and his mother shared this experience with us that we have a learning category of type of fish, right?
Okay.
So parents has to perform these activities along with the child, but we know how our attention span is. We just want to get done with the activity. Children are there to learn, right? This is how we pursue. So she was doing this program for almost a year. One day, she and the entire family was out on a picnic, and there was a museum where there were a lot of fishes in the tank. And he was just 2 years old that time. Okay, he was just 2 years old. He went to one fish tank and he said, "Butterfly fish."
Oh wow!
And his mother could not believe it. Right?
Wow.
So his mother actually looked, his mother actually looked on the Google and saw what the butterfly fish is, and it was exactly the same. So this is what we want to do. That we often as a parents nowadays experience that whenever we go out, even for dinners or even for outings, we hand over the phones to the children. But if children are learning, they will find the interest. Whenever they are going out, they will start looking for those relevant concepts everywhere they go, right? So that is our main intent to do. Rather than looking at the mobile phones when you go out, experience whatever you have around you.
Correct. That's right. Another story I wanted to share, right after the lockdown was opened up, Our parents were doing the program during that period as well. Once the lockdown opened up, one of the parents decided to take the child out for a vacation, right? And they were, driving on a road, and on the road, the child sitting in the back seat, he saw uh, a big, tower that is there, high tension tower, right?
Wow. Okay.
And he pointed out and he said, Eiffel Tower.
Oh, okay.
Right. And again, mom and dad were shocked, and they were just thinking that how could he say that it looks exactly like an Eiffel Tower, right? The big high tension towers.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then mom said that this guy has seen it in the BrainCells program. He has seen the
Okay.
Eiffel Tower, because there are like monuments
Right.
that we introduce to children, world
Right.
famous monuments, and their
Right.
Eiffel Tower is there, and he could recognize it while he was on the road. Dad has to say that has to tell him later on that this is not an Eiffel Tower, this is like a high tension electric
Correct.
tower, but I'll take you to Paris one day and I'll show you how Eiffel Tower looks. But
Yeah,
they were
yeah.
amazed. So there are
These are
plentiful
interesting
amazing
stories.
stories that happens.
Yes, yes.
The
Absolutely.
faster and advanced way of learning that we provide.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think it's pretty much like getting inside the child's brain and trying to advance that in a systematic way, right? So that's what you guys have helped a lot of parents doing this. Now, one thing that I have noticed is that when you start a edtech startup, it's not very easy to convince parents. I am a parent myself. I have a 9-year-old son, and I'm not very convinced easily if somebody comes and tries to sell me a course or anything, right? How did you guys approach parents in the first place? Of course, you had the advantage of your preschool and all of that, but growing up to 12,000 number is a big number. How was that whole process? Was it difficult? Was it easy? How many people said no and then they said wow and all of that? What happened?
Yeah, so we were showered with love from the day one. As I mentioned, the first batch
Okay.
itself was of 100 parents who joined in. Building on top of that, we focused upon delivering what is required and making parents understand the need of BrainCells program or cognitive neuroscience based activities. That has been our focus. So first thing to do over there was that we introduced a free masterclass, right? And in masterclass we would ask the parents to join in, and we make them understand why cognitive neuroscience based activities are really essential, how we can develop creativity, in or not develop, rather, we can boost the creativity in the children because they already have it in them, right? Rather, parents or adults, we've lost our creativity, and we make them understand through an activity, right? And I'll probably do this activity very quickly as well, right? Just through an example, right? We share this activity in our master class, and it's all there on YouTube as well.
Okay.
Beautiful activity. We ask our parents that in 30 seconds, you have to draw a best nature drawing. We've all drawn nature drawing during our school days. Best nature drawing, and the condition is you have to be unique, you have to be creative.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
Out of almost 35,000 parents we have spoken so far, 99% of them draw mountains,
Yes,
a half sun or a full sun, some birds flying, a coconut tree, a house, and probably a river, right?
correct.
And then we ask them, is this really the creativity? Right? Is this really
Yeah,
creative, and
I
is
know.
this being unique?
I know.
We have been conditioned into this, that we have started thinking this is creativity.
Correct.
When when we ask the children who have done BrainCells program or who were in our preschool and had done Tejasa's program, extracurricular activity programs, when they grow up like 8-year, 9-year, 10-year-old, and when we ask them the same question, right, that draw best nature drawing in 30 seconds. And with their creative mindset in their mind, you know what they drew? One child drew a volcano as a nature drawing.
Oh, wow.
A volcano.
Wow.
So
Interesting.
unique.
Yeah.
That's so creative.
Yeah. Absolutely.
One child drew just a butterfly.
Okay.
Just a butterfly. Isn't that a nature?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
That is nature. That is creative. So, you know, through these lot of activities that we do in our masterclass, we make them understand, you know, what are the benefits, how it is really important, and how we can really nurture the creativity, nurture the critical thinking aspect in the child, nurture the photographic memory, nurture pattern matching, pattern recognition, and all these 12 brain functions that we work upon in BrainCells program, right? We go through that, we take them through this journey, we make them understand. And also there are, you know, parents who share a lot of testimonials also with us, so we share those testimonials, right? After that, when we started to scale up, now we have created a, you know, one-on-one demo session. So our academic counseling team, they conduct a one-on-one demo session with the parent. They show the activities, because, you know, even our activities are pretty unique, very advanced. And they're very different even from what happens in home or even at preschool, right? So we make our parents understand what are the activities through this demo session, and we spend like half an hour with them, and then you know, my parents can join the program, right? So we, graduating my parents, or making, you know, making them understand the importance. We have also created an Instagram page, right? And on this page, we have a community of around like 20,000 plus followers over there, wherein we educate parents in terms of parenting, in terms of brain development, in terms of cognitive neuroscience based activities, in terms of how, you know, what are the day-to-day communication that should happen with the children. And that makes, you know, a complete change of environment in the home. You know, you know, house becomes a learning capital or learning palace, wherein everybody is involved in, you know, what new can be learned, right, every single day through fun activities, right? And we educate parents through our Instagram page as well, and all these activities that I just told you, and that has been helping. That has been helping. And one more thing is that we built a community, as I mentioned, and we nurture our community with, you know, extra activities and a lot of other things.
Correct. This is amazing. Yeah, you guys are killing it, actually. You know, you have all angles to it. You have the community side to it. You are educating the parents, because, you know, these days in India also, other than the Western countries, in India also, we have more or less, you know, a neutral family, right? Mother, father, and one or two child. This is a, you know, configuration of a family that we have now in the urban areas, at least, right? This is what is happening. And mostly grandparents, if they are still alive and things, they are mostly still in a town, or they are with them, or they're not with them, and things like that. So all of this kind of, you know, gives a good angle to how parenting is supposed to be done. Now, one of the questions that's coming to my mind is, you know, we always keep thinking about what is our child going to become when they grow up, right? And as parent, we want to give them different types of exposures, right? Like I send my kid to for playing football. So he goes for football coaching. Not that I want him to become Messi or Ronaldo or something. I want him to just experience that. If he likes it and if he wants to do more of that, he may do it, or it's okay if he doesn't do anything. He also is more inclined to building rockets and things. So, you know, we give him a YouTube channel where I tell him, you know, don't watch cartoons so much. If you want to watch cartoons also, because you're interested in space, try to watch that, right? So he kind of watches those things. Now, my question to you guys is, when it comes to career choices, how does BrainCell affect in those early ages, which will help, like you said, you know, the kids who graduate from your program tend to become, you know, outstanding in their future years, like 9-10 years old kids become you know, more advanced in thinking and all, creativity and all of that.
So I would say that we are involved with them, right from their initial years. So in these years, we help, parents also to understand that, as you rightly said, let them explore. The more they explore, the more they are going to learn, and the more they'll develop the strong, likes and dislikes around what they want to do, what they don't want to do, and then that becomes a consistent activity for them. And one or the other way, when they're exploring a lot of things, they start developing their interest and start becoming more and more interested and start pursuing it as a career option. And this is what we say, that whatever career options that we have in this age right now,
Right.
those are not going to be relevant when our children are going to grow up.
Absolutely.
So that
I agree
year
with
is
you.
going to be 2014. See how ChatGPT is taking over. We see how a lot of things are taking over humans,
Correct.
right?
Correct.
So
Correct.
it is very important that we, help children develop their own personality in such a way that when they become old, they know what they want to do in life.
Correct. That's right. And in terms of exposure, I want to add to that. Cognitive neuroscience gives this beautiful activity of flashcards, right? And in flashcards, we give three kinds of knowledge to children. Number one is general knowledge, second is maths, and third is language. And especially when it comes to general knowledge, we introduce the child with 3,000 plus categories. It initially starts with, dog breeds, animals, birds, types of birds, fruits, and all of that. And it goes to a level of, as I mentioned, famous monuments, famous scientists, types of airplanes, rockets, types of species, and multitude of other aspects of, what child needs to get introduced to. So when the child gets introduced to 3,000 plus categories, now the child has option. When he grows up, now he knows a lot of things already, right? We have a child, again a 2.5 year old, and he recognizes famous scientists at this age, right?
Wow.
So in this age, he's known. So when he'll grow up, he knows APJ Abdul Kalam. He looks at a book of APJ Abdul Kalam, and he'll be interested to read that book, right? Plus, through it is an online program, so all the activities that happen happen in our app, which is a web app right now. And whenever child performs the activity, right, when they perform the activity, there is a trace that we capture through the technology. And by building AI and ML algorithms which run in the background, we can we cannot pinpoint, but we can figure out where the child's interest lies, right? So let's say we introduce the child with sports, types of sports person, and if the child tends to do better at solving puzzles of sports, solving memory games of sports, then we can figure out what is the interest of the child, and we show that as a report to the parent as well. We call it as the child's interest report, wherein they get to know what are the aspects where in the child, or aspect of learning or aspect of general knowledge where the child is showing interest. And then parents can also stay prepared. There is also an aspect that we don't show this as a career option that can be available for the child, but based upon the interest that the child is building, what are the dreams that you can give to your child, right? And let's say a child is doing amazing at sea life or sea animals, right? Then there is an option that you can give a dream to your child to become an oceanographer.
Right.
How many of us in this generation have dreamt about becoming an oceanographer?
We have not even heard of that. Not even heard of that.
Yeah, that's right. And oceanographers, have amazing, career path, and they become, there's plenty of opportunities also available. If the child is doing really great at maths, right? Maths and solving puzzles related to maths, then there is an opportunity to become an actuarist.
Wow.
How many of us know actuary?
Yeah.
So we show this, right beside this interest, where we show your child is building interest in music, sports, science, math, and right beside that, what our algorithms find out, we list down what are the dreams that you can give to your child based upon it can be a sports person, actuarist, oceanographer, it can be anything. And we want to see that our next generation don't just become engineers and doctors and CAs, they actually become actuarists, oceanographers, and much more.
This is awesome, yeah. This is such a fantastic program for kids. I'm amazed to know so many things about how things work from. It's all at the root, right? The brain that you're going into is fantastic. So I have a question regarding your future. What do you guys are planning to become in the next 5 to 10 years, since you guys have already built a community of 12,000 parents, and the number is only growing. So what is the future? What is the vision that you guys have?
So, taking BrainCells program to each and every household is the vision upon which we want to build our platform, not limiting it to anybody. And that's why we've kept our program very cost efficient that way. It's just 600 rupees per month subscription. And parents and children can build life skills using the program every day. That also builds a lot of discipline in parents as well as children to do those activities on daily basis, right? So taking it to each and every household and not leaving any stones unturned about that, right? So that is the vision that we have. We also want to see because we've been running preschool ourselves, we want to see a change in the preschool curriculum, because since the preschool started like 20-25 years, 30 years back, the preschool curriculum hasn't changed at all, right?
Correct.
And whereas the needs of children, needs of how the learning should happen, the demands of the new times after COVID has completely changed. And
Correct.
for that, the learning has to become a gamified, gamification has to be there in terms of how children learn. And that's where the activities that BrainCells has, they are like, small, we call them as activities, but they are small little games which help in building these well brain functions. And we want to take that forward and, create a new curriculum altogether, which can become the preschool curriculum, which will be a gamified version wherein children are learning themselves by performing activities. And it's not so there is always, I always consider this, there's a lot of difference between teaching and learning. What preschool is doing right now is teaching, and where the learning is missed out when children learn themselves, and teachers rather are becoming a catalyst in their learning process, right? So changing that aspect is something we want to really work upon. 12,000 is the number that we've hit now so far with just the BrainCells program, but we want to create other programs as well, which will become the part of the platform. And of course, all the activities will be based upon cognitive neuroscience, but we are planning to launch our phonics program, activities based upon cognitive neuroscience, because phonics is done in one way, but it can be done in an even better way. So phonics program, there is a music program that is being planned for children, right? And how music helps tremendously well in developing neural connections in brain, calming down the brain, and there are so many benefits that are already there. So music program, phonics program, there are some abacus program for the 6+ age group as well being planned, and multitude of programs. So it becomes a platform or probably a one-stop shop for learning for age group of 0 to 6, probably will extend it to 0 to 8 or 0 to 10 as well going forward in 5 to 10 years. That's how that's how we have set ourselves our goals and taking it forward.
Interesting, very interesting. So we see a lot of these subscription boxes for children, right? I don't remember the names of the companies, but in India also you get every month a particular box for it's a surprise box, right? And it has certain activities which also helps in the development of the child in different ways. So how do you see yourself different from this kind of a program that parents are paying in thousands of rupees? Your program is really very affordable. I told you this when we were having a discussion also. It's a very affordable program. But how do you see the difference between a one-time box sent to your home, shipped once a month, compared to what you guys are doing? What is the difference and how it's useful?
Yeah, so when we have one box to explore, there are limited activities that the child can perform. You're spending thousands of rupees, but the child will get done with that box within 1 or 2 days.
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
This is one other aspect. Other boxes, there are some boxes which are delivered every month as well. But again, those activities, parents have to sit and structure what
Correct.
they have to do today. They cannot do it, they'll postpone it for tomorrow, they'll postpone it for weekend. And
Correct.
then the box is sitting at home because it's a learning box, and the child will not be, the child will not do those activities all by himself, right?
Correct.
So that is where the lag is. So that is where we come up with giving them a structured activities for them
And
to
this is
perform.
daily. This is every day.
Every day.
This
So
is
every day we
day.
start with lesser complexity.
Mm.
Yeah, so we start with lesser complexity to build the tempo for parents, so they are also more energetic to do it every day. And then slowly we take the complexity of all the activities higher as well, and they just have to spend 10 to 12 minutes a day's time. So that is the time where the parents would also want to sit with their child and invest some time doing some engaging activities, right? So we give them a complete program. So today when you're sitting down, these are the activities you have to do, so they don't really have to think what they have to do.
Correct. A lot of these activities are also phygital, as we call it. It's physical plus digital.
Okay.
And physical aspect of it, we take care of it mostly by asking parents to use household material. There's so many things available in the house that you can make use of and create an activity out of it, right?
Correct.
It can be simple pen and paper. It can be kitchen material that is available, right? It can be glass of jar filled up, and then there are activities. So when parents get to our platform, they get to enjoy these activities. So a glass of jar, and there is an activity derived out of that. Children get to perform. There is a STEM aspect as well that we have kept, STEM experiments, wherein using household material, children build a cloud inside a bottle.
Okay.
A raining cloud inside a bottle. It's so beautiful. Right?
Nice.
Just household. So you don't have to really spend thousands and thousands on these subscription boxes, which ultimately is just in the corner. Just by using household material, making it really exciting for the children, and then you get all the hand holding that happens in our app, right? Instructions and everything that happens in the app, right? That's how beautiful it is.
Awesome. I think for any parent, it is a very good investment in terms of learning. And actually, investment is a wrong word altogether, because I'm talking about monetary benefits. But it's actually more of a, like you said, bonding. There's a bonding. Even the parent is learning that he or she might have to go and search a lot of things on YouTube and try to do that. Instead of that, you're providing the structured program and it's already there. We just have to take that and then use that and do things. Now, one thing that I would like to understand is about partnerships. What kind of partnerships are you guys looking forward to in terms of, I'm thinking of companies like Disney, for example. I don't know what all other companies are there for children, like Marvel and things like that. So is there a connection, right? Because it should be fun, and it should if your brain cell activities are combined with Spider-Man's activities, something. So is there a connection there? Are you guys thinking of those things, or am I giving you the ideas and you guys are going to make tons of money out of it?
Of course, Keerthi. So, we are actually planning to, if we consider associations with Marvel or Spider-Man, as you say, we already have, planned a mascot for ourselves. So that mascot is going to be the voice of BrainCells for everything that happens on the platform or in the app. That is number one thing. But good relationships and good partnerships are being built in the ecosystem right now by us. So we have partnered with LifeCell, right? And it's a beautiful association with them, wherein LifeCell helps parents in storing the stem cells of the children. It's one of the biggest stem bank, right? Stem cell bank, right? And we have partnered with them, and through them we're getting connected to a lot of parents and making them understand, because parents who are so aware about storing stem cells of their children, they're also want to do a lot about what their children should become when they grow up, right? And BrainCells is getting introduced through them. We are partnering with schools, with preschools, to run the program as a physical program in the school, right? So it's the same program that Tejasa was running in our preschool, right? Extracurricular activity. And we've named it Rumble Tumble Time. So the name is also very exciting.
Nice.
So Rumble Tumble Time program is introduced. It's already introduced in almost 15 schools. We're partnering with 36 schools, and 15 schools we are already running it. In the month of June, we are planning to go to about 50 schools, 50 to 100 schools.
Nice.
And we're running this as a physical program actually. So teacher will be there. So teacher-led physical program. So one of BrainCells activities are there. They get performed in the school. And in that aspect, we have partnered with Little Millennium, Kidsies of this world, Euro Kids of this world, and a lot of other preschools which are doing a tremendous job and who are focused on children's growth, right? So we have partnered with this school as well, and we are tying up with more. We are also planning to partner. We are already in the process of partnering with a lot of child care brands, right? Some diaper brands, new age learning toys brands, and all of that. So we are exploring all the opportunities, reaching out to all these brands in terms of partnerships, and there'll be more coming up in the future as well.
Awesome. You guys are really awesome in terms of being entrepreneurs. I'm amazed to understand so many things about children and so many things about education for children and neuroscience and all of this. So I have last two questions, and these are very standard questions that I ask every entrepreneur or leader that comes to my show. So what inspires you, or who inspires you? Who is your role model? Each of you. I want to know your role model for you guys to become such wonderful entrepreneurs. Who are your role models? Don't think. There's no time to think. No time to think.
Okay, so for me, I would say it has always been Richard Branson. I've read his autobiography myself, and that was the time when I realized that it is, for an entrepreneur, it is very important to be a fearless person.
Correct.
And throughout his book, he has talked a lot on being fearless. And the second thing, I would say that he has always been consistent about doing certain things, right? So persistence and fearlessness is something that I've learned from Richard Branson, and then taking bigger risks. I mean, oh my God, he takes a lot of risks in his early days of that. So these are the three things that has inspired me a lot. So I see him as a role model.
Nice.
And I even today follow him, whatever he is doing right now. So I follow him and I see him as an inspiration.
And the book that she is talking about of Richard Branson, that was given by me to her.
Oh, nice. What was the book? What is the name of the book? Do it or do it. I think.
Virgin.
Okay. Awesome. So, what about you? Who inspires you, Pratik?
Yeah, I mean, I take inspiration from everyone, be it Elon Musk, Richard Branson, in India, we have a lot of great entrepreneurs. But I have this habit of, learning from probably everyone that I come in connect with, right? It can be my teammate who has newly joined and has a different aspect and perspective about a feature of the product, right? There is so much to learn from everyone, and there is so much to explore. So I always consider that I'm on a continuous learning journey from each and everyone around me, right?
Awesome.
Now, it can be personal trait, it can be business trait, it can be taking decisions. I learned a lot from my father about taking decisions or risks in business. I've learned a lot from my mentors in my previous excursions, as well as the current one, about defining what should be the financial plan, what should be the marketing plan, how should the business plan should be written, and everything, right? There's so much to learn from everyone, and I believe that whoever I come in connect with, I'm learning a lot from you, Keerthi, right? So
I was about to
everyone,
tell you
right?
that. I was about to tell you that.
Of course. Yes, everyone,
Yeah.
you've launched a beautiful YouTube channel. You're doing a
Thanks.
fabulous job of
Thank you.
conducting interviews, and there is so much to I'm taking this inspiration from you, and now we're going to put a lot into our YouTube channel as well, because we are also now building our YouTube channel for BrainCells, and we'll be
Nice.
taking a lot of inspiration from you. So
Nice.
there's so much to take around. Inspiration, motivation from everyone, and I keep learning a lot from everyone that I come in contact with.
That is and I have seen this, Pratik. Whenever I ask these questions, right, 2-3 things are really common. One is Elon Musk, right? He's across the board. He's always there. Richard Branson is new, and I follow him also. Tejasa, so great guy. A lot of to learn, a lot of things to learn from him, to push the boundaries, right? He's not conventional guy, just unconventional stuff. And of course, like you said, we learn a lot of things from a lot of people that we engage with, that we come across, and there are a lot of good things to learn from a lot of things, a lot of people. This is my last question to you guys. What is some advice that you guys would like to give to aspiring entrepreneurs, be it somebody who's just graduated from a college and wants to start up, or somebody who has been in the corporate or not in the corporate, or working somewhere for years, and now they want to think, now they're thinking of starting up? What is your advice of starting up? How to build a company from scratch? What do you guys advise? How do you
Sure.
what is that?
Sure, definitely. So I engage with a lot of colleges and their entrepreneurship cells, and I recently did an event at VIIT as well, and then I keep going to other engineering colleges as well as MBA colleges, and there with after pandemic and with an advent of Shark Tank, right? Everybody wants to be an entrepreneur, and that's a good thing, that in a way it's a good thing that is happening, that people want their financial discipline, financial freedom built by themselves, and want to see themselves as becoming an entrepreneur and bring their own ideas into this world. This is really beautiful thing. But at the back of it, they also have to understand the key business aspects, right? And how do we, funding is just one thing that happens in the life of an entrepreneur. But
are you guys funded? Sorry to interrupt you there.
No.
But are you guys funded for Brainyells, or how is that going?
Yes, so we raised a small angel round. So we have raised 50,000 USD.
Oh, nice.
Yes, from an angel investors, and we are going forward for our further investments as well.
Nice.
You can call it a pre-series round. Pre-series A round is what we are raising right now.
Okay. No, please continue. You were talking about the entrepreneurship. Yes.
Correct. That's right. So I visit a lot of these B school competitions or business plan competitions as well, and there are brilliant ideas that today's young generation, just out of the college, are coming out with and bringing them to life. it's so beautiful to see that, but they have to understand key business aspects as well, wherein focusing not just on the funding is one thing, and I always say the hard work really starts after funding, right? It's not funding ho gaya, sab kuch ho gaya. That's
Right.
not how it works.
Correct.
Rather,
Correct.
and then even before funding or after funding, you need to have your principles right. You have to understand, profit is ultimately important. We
Correct.
see a lot of companies doing a burn, but they do burn for a reason, right? They're not doing a burn because they have a different kind of a vision. Not every business can run with the same vision,
Correct.
right? But you need to have to look at the profitability, how to build a team, right? That is a great aspect that students who are just coming out, and there's an advice for them. You should inculcate that habit, inculcate the learning in terms of personal, emotional connect with each and everyone around you, so that you build that those skill sets to build a team, which is really essential for a business. You cannot build everything on your own, right? And how to go about it. And there are different other skill sets that they have to build. Somebody who is coming, who's into the corporate world and wants to start a business, I see a lot of these people has been asking for an advice sometimes, that what to go about it. I always tell them that if you want to start a business or get into a business, you have to do it with a full heart. You cannot do it half-heartedly, that you're just doing your job, and then in the evening you're working upon your startup. It really never works like that. You have to step out completely, be in the water 100%. Only then you can really work upon your startup. You have your backing with your job, your salary, that really never works. And then parallel, you're thinking that you will work on your startup. It really never works like that. You have to be in the water 100%, and then that really helps in shaping up your ideas and bringing them to life. And whatever idea that you work upon, if you have a full conviction, it really works out. As a business, it really works out. And that has been the learning that I have gotten, because since I started my career in 2008 to 2011, I was also working for a corporate company. And then from 2011, when I decided to start something of my own, it's been almost 11 years now, 11, 12 years now, in my entrepreneurial journey. I've always considered that, just step into the water completely, get drenched.
Correct.
Don't put your legs on two stones and try to balance. Go there all out, and it just finally works out.
That's really awesome advice, Pratik. I think a lot of people don't understand the importance of full commitment. I've also done this, and we all have done this, and then we learn from our mistakes, and then we try to do. But Tejasa, what advice do you think you have for mostly women entrepreneurs? And I'm not being stereotyped. I'm just being, because that emotion only a lady can understand. I can't ask Pratik. Okay, don't take me wrong, but I want to understand that from a woman's perspective, how difficult or easy it is to be an entrepreneur. And what advice would you give to aspiring women entrepreneurs? Because it's really important. I feel women should be entrepreneurs. We want more of you guys, girls. Sorry.
So to talk about me, I would say that I am a woman entrepreneur. I'm here full time, and third thing is I'm also a mother. So I'm handling, and I'm also a wife, right? So there are a lot of different things that I'm taking care of in a day's time.
Right.
So when I became a mother and started working on my venture after becoming a mother, that time I realized that women have tremendous power. They just underestimate themselves.
Correct.
The one, and I always say that men are different than women.
Correct.
And one advantage that a woman has is they are multitaskers. They can multitask.
Correct.
Beautifully. They can manage everything. Manage their home. They can manage the child's education. They can manage the company.
Correct.
right? We go through a lot of ups and downs throughout the day, but at the end of the day, everything pays off because women are able to handle everything. That's a beautiful thing. So for women entrepreneurs, I would say that if you have a second thought that whether I should start or not, just go full-fledgedly. You'll find your way. Right now you have self-doubt, but just start. Whatever it is, even if it is small, start small, but start something because you have that power and you can do it. And another thing is, women are persistent in whatever they do.
Correct.
Third thing is, they do detailed work.
Yeah.
So it is
Agreed.
just they'll take something in hand, they'll complete, and they'll just forget about it, right?
Yeah.
So they'll do detailed work. So these are the powers that women have. So I would encourage women to network a lot, talk a lot to people who are in the industry, so that you gain that confidence. Because a lot of times we always doubt whether even I being a mother, I doubt myself if I'm giving 100% to my child or not, if I'm giving 100% to my business or not, if I'm giving 100% to my husband or not, or my family, right?
Correct.
So we will always doubt ourselves. So it is our responsibility being a woman that we come out of our doubts, talk to people who inspire you, and just be more productive and just start doing whatever you love to do, and you'll just do great in your life.
Amazing. What a piece of advice. And I totally agree with you. Women are more powerful than men. There is no doubt about this in my mind. And women can do multitasking. That is definitely something that I believe also. And detail oriented. Men tend to kind of do a little bit of I don't know. Is there a word called undetailed? I don't know. Right. So I agree with you, and I come across a lot of women entrepreneurs. They are doing such wonderful work, and I think India is going to be one of those countries one of the countries that has so many women entrepreneurs, and also husband-wife duo entrepreneurs. I'm seeing this as a and it's a good partnership. Two people. In fact, me and my wife, we have done few things, and we are doing few things together. But this has been an amazing conversation with you guys. Thank you so much for being on Coffee with Keerthi, for sharing all the insights about how a child's brain works, and your story and all of this fantastic thing. Thank you so much, guys. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much, Keerthi, for inviting us. It was a really nice discussion that we had today with you.
And we didn't even get to know how that 1 hour flight by. It was really amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, guys. Thanks a lot.